Hey, welcome back to the African Homestead. Just wanted to update you. We are planting our garden today. In addition to the cucumbers and the dill that we planted the other day, now we're going to try to get everything else in the ground today and just taking our time, not rushing through it. I just wanted to give you an idea of what we're working on. Okay, so we got the corn planted. We did rows 32 inches apart and seed spacing is 6 inches, and then we'll thin those out later. But you can see we supplemented each row. So we ended up with 4 rows in this bed. And then we're gonna come back here in a few weeks and I'm hoping to get 5 rows in this bed and have at least 2 plantings of corn. I ended up having a lot more seed than I thought. And so I'm hoping if the space opens up, we can get another couple plantings at the end of the dry season as the rains start coming in. And here's where we're putting in the zucchini, right here beside the cucumbers. And I think I'm doing about a 24-inch row with the spacing. They're probably going to end up being about 18 to 20 inches apart. A little bit further, these are the Black Beauty variety that I'm planting here. A little bit further than what my research tells me, but it's just decided I'd rather have them spaced a little bit too far apart than too tight. And so what we're doing, because this soil, as I mentioned before, is totally depleted, there's just no phosphorus, no nitrogen, no potassium in it. We're going to take the compost that we have over here in the wheel, and we are just going to completely fill the holes in compost and just grow everything that we're planting in holes filled with compost. One thing I like to do is when I plant the seeds, to give them a really good soaking, especially here now that we're not getting very much rain at all and the sun is shining every day and it's in the upper 80s, the low 90s. If you plant the seeds and you don't give it a good soaking, then the dry land, the soil below these beds being dry will leach all that moisture down, and the sun beating on top will dry all the moisture from the surface, and the seeds will be in a pretty low moisture environment. And so I give it a good soaking this first time, and so at least I'll stop the leaching from below, and then just give it a light watering every day, just to keep the surface moist and help with the germination. So as I'm watering the bed where I planted my dill, I got to looking over here at my potato greens, and as I mentioned in an earlier video, that very few Liberians grow sweet potatoes for the tuber. They actually grow it for the greens, and in this bed actually I have about 3 different varieties of sweet potato greens, 3 or 4, just judging on the color and shape of the different types of leaves. Usually this time of year, they're growing these sweet potato greens from this kind of a yard where it's been heavily watered with the rainy season rains, and they'll go down and move it into the swamp where the soils will stay moist all dry season. But we're gonna irrigate this and keep it going here. But one of the things I did last week was make some compost tea. And I can tell you, I'm amazed at how this just took off. It had started languishing a little bit. We had top dressed it with pig manure probably 6 weeks ago, and it had really slowed down with less rain and less nutrients. It had really slowed down. It was looking patchy, but I put that compost tea on there, and I think I'll make a video in the future and have that on my channel on how to make compost tea, how to dilute it and use it. And so feel free to come back for that video. Another organization that I'm working with is called ECHO. They're based in Fort Myers, Florida. It's a Christian organization whose mission is, well, as it says here, reducing hunger and improving lives through agriculture. But that's where I got the zucchini seed. I also have some other dwarf papaya that produces well, star fruit. But they focus reducing hunger in developing countries, which are also primarily in the tropics. So places that should grow fruit and vegetables very well oftentimes are the same places that face abject poverty and hunger. And so it's a great organization. Check out their website. What's great too is that I can get 10 packets of seeds every year for free as a missionary and as a development worker in a developing country. And that's only available to development workers who are working overseas. But it's a great opportunity for us to trial new seeds, to introduce new plants and varieties in countries that sorely need that type of development. So as you can see, we have some holes that we've dug out. This is where we're going to be planting the watermelon, cantaloupe, and Liberian pumpkin. But as we fill each one of these holes completely full of 100% compost, hopefully that's going to give us the type of nutrient boost that we need to have a successful garden here in this highly depleted acidic soil. Are you helping me water the garden? Yes. Okay, let's water. You gonna help water the garden? All right, there you go. Good job. Okay, let go. Look good. Hey, Ruby. Good job.